World War I was one of the most devastating and transformative events in human history, and over the years, filmmakers have brought its stories to life in unforgettable ways. In today's video, we'll look at the best World War I movies ever made, films that capture the courage, tragedy, and humanity of the Great War. From epic battle scenes to emotional personal stories, these are the movies that help us understand what life was really like on the front lines. Whether you love historical dramas or powerful war films based on true events, this list is for you. Let's dive into the best World War I movies of all time. (1917). This is one of the most stunning World War I movies ever made. Directed by Sam Mendes, this film tells the story of two young British soldiers who must cross enemy territory to deliver a message that could save hundreds of lives. What makes 1917 special is its incredible one-shot style. It looks like the entire movie was filmed in a single continuous take. Starring George Mackay and Dean Charles Chapman, every moment feels intense and real. Personally, I really like this movie. It's emotional, beautifully shot, and filled with tension from start to finish. It's not just a war film, it's a cinematic experience. If you liked Dunkirk or Saving Private Ryan, 1917 is a must-watch masterpiece. Dr. Zhivago. Dr. Zhivago isn't only about World War I, it's also about love, loss, and survival during a time of revolution. Directed by David Lean, one of the greatest filmmakers in history, this classic film stars Omar Sharif and Julie Christie in unforgettable performances. The story follows a Russian doctor and poet who struggles to hold on to his humanity as war and politics tear his world apart. I think this movie is a true classic, the kind of sweeping epic that Hollywood rarely makes anymore. The cinematography and music are breathtaking, and even though it's long, it's a movie you'll remember forever. If you enjoy great historical dramas like Gone with the Wind or Lawrence of Arabia, Dr. Zhivago is essential viewing. All Quiet on the Western Front. This modern remake of the 1930 classic brings All Quiet on the Western Front back to life from a German perspective. Directed by Edward Berger, the 2022 version is a powerful and emotional film about the horror of war and the loss of innocence. It stars Felix Kammerer in a stunning performance as a young German soldier caught in the chaos of the trenches. I think this movie is incredibly well made, dark, realistic, and haunting. The visuals and sound design pull you right into the battlefield. It's one of the best World War I movies of the modern era and a reminder that every side suffered during the Great War. The Grand Illusion. Coming from France, The Grand Illusion offers a completely different perspective on World War I. Directed by Jean Renoir, the film focuses not on battles but on class, friendship, and humanity among soldiers from different backgrounds. It stars Jean Gabin and Erich von Stroheim, and what makes it special is how it shows respect for both sides of the conflict. Personally, I think this film stands out because it's more about understanding and compassion than fighting. It's one of the first anti-war movies ever made, and it still feels meaningful today. If you like thoughtful war dramas like Paths of Glory or A Farewell to Arms, this French classic is a must-see. Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia might exaggerate some parts of history, but it remains one of the most spectacular movies ever made. Directed by the legendary David Lean, it stars Peter O'Toole in one of his most iconic performances. The film tells the story of British officer T.E. Lawrence and his role in the Arab Revolt during World War I. Even though it distorts some historical facts, the acting, music, and atmosphere are absolutely superb. I think it's a true cinematic epic. the kind of movie that defines the word classic. If you enjoyed films like Dr. Zhivago or Bridge on the River Kwai, this one will leave you in awe. Paths of Glory. Directed by the great Stanley Kubrick, Paths of Glory is one of the most powerful World War I movies ever made. It stars Kirk Douglas as a French officer who faces the impossible, leading his men through a suicidal mission and then defending them against unfair military punishment. This movie is a classic for a reason. I think it perfectly captures the madness and injustice of war, showing how the real enemy isn't always the other side. With its incredible direction and emotional story, Paths of Glory remains one of Kubrick's best films. If you like The Grand Illusion or All Quiet on the Western Front, this one will hit hard. All Quiet on the Western Front. Based on the famous novel by Erich Maria Remarque, the 1930 version of All Quiet on the Western Front is one of the most important war movies ever made. Directed by Louis Milestone, it tells the story of young German soldiers who go to the front full of pride and end up broken by the horrors of war. Even after all these years, it's still powerful and emotional. I think this film is a wonderful adaptation of the book. Honest, painful, and beautifully acted. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and it deserves its place among the greatest anti-war films ever made. If you're interested in film history, this is one you shouldn't skip. Warhorse. Directed by Steven Spielberg, offers a different kind of World War I story, one seen through the eyes of a young man and his beloved horse. The film stars Jeremy Irvine, Tom Hiddleston, and Benedict Cumberbatch, and it's filled with emotion and hope. What I love about this movie is how it shows the human and animal cost of war, not just the battles. Spielberg's direction makes every moment feel heartfelt and cinematic. It's a beautiful and touching story, and while it's not as brutal as other war films, it captures the same spirit. If you like emotional war dramas like Saving Private Ryan or 1917, you'll really enjoy Warhorse. Johnny Got His Gun. This movie is one of the most powerful anti-war films ever made. Directed by Dalton Trumbo, who also wrote the famous novel, it tells the story of a soldier who survives a World War I explosion but loses his limbs and face, trapped in his own mind. It's haunting, emotional, and unforgettable. I think it's a great movie because it forces you to think deeply about the true horror of war. It's not full of action, but it's incredibly moving and meaningful. If you appreciated thoughtful films like Paths of Glory or The Thin Red Line, this one will stay with you long after it ends. Gallipoli, directed by Peter Weir, tells the story of two young Australian soldiers during the tragic Gallipoli campaign of World War I. It stars a young Mel Gibson and Mark Lee, and it's one of those movies that doesn't get talked about enough. I find it really interesting because it focuses on friendship, courage, and loss rather than just the fighting. It's emotional and beautifully made, showing how war changes people forever. If you liked 1917 or Warhorse, Gallipoli offers a fresh and lesser-known look at the Great War. Thanks for watching my list of the best World War I movies ever made. These films show the bravery, pain, and humanity behind the Great War, each from a different perspective. I've always been fascinated by how directors bring these powerful stories to life, and I hope you found a few new favorites here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your own favorite World War I movie. I'd love to see what you recommend. And if you're already subscribed, let's head straight into the next video.